All right, welcome to this video here where we're going to be taking a look at factoring a trinomial. I'm going to use something I'm going to call the magic X method. I'm not sure if there's another name for it. It's the name I was kind of given, but just going through another method on how we can factor a trinomial. This works for all trinomials. Okay, it doesn't matter what value of a you have, but if you can factor it properly, you're going to be able to do it with this method. So let's start off with step number one. First thing we're going to do is we're going to multiply our a and our c values together. Now, if you're not sure about that, we have this ax squared plus bx plus c. So we're going to take the two numbers on either side. That's the 6 and -4. And we're going to multiply that together and get -24. Now, from there, I'm going to set up this cross or this x, and there's going to be my x that I'm going to set up. I'm going to put that number I got, okay, that product that we got on top, and I'm going to put the b value, okay, so that's that middle value of 5. I'm going to put that on the bottom. So these are the two values that we need to know, the product, and then we need to know what is the b value as well. Step number 3, determine a pair of factors which multiply to the top and add to the bottom. Now, it might be really helpful to take our -24 and find all of the pairs of factors that we have. So I did that. You can kind of see it there on the bottom. And I have what are all of the factors or the pairs of factors of -24. So like -24 and 1 or +24 and 1 and vice versa, or continuation of all the rest. Now, I notice here that any one of these is going to multiply to -24, but only one is going to add to 5, and that is this one right here. Okay, so -3 and 8. I need to put those, okay, into my other two spots. Order doesn't really matter. Okay, so as long as we have those, we know that the two numbers in the middle there, okay, so those two numbers in the middle, 8 and -3, multiply on top, add on the bottom. And that's the important thing that we're taking a look at. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to set up our grid. Now, if you have used a grid method for multiplying binomials, this is kind of going backwards and showing how we come up with that, or a way that we can use that to factor as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our first and last values in our trinomial, so the 6e squared and the -4. Those are usually the ones that when we multiply, we get those in the left or top left and bottom right, and we're going to put those in there. Okay, so 6e squared and -4, that's where those two go. And then we're going to take the 8 and the -3, we're going to give them the e value as well, and we're going to plug those in the other two. Again, order doesn't matter as long as you just have those two right there. All right, from here, what we're going to do now is we're going to factor a greatest common factor out of each row and each column of this grid. If we have a negative on the top or the left side, we're going to take a negative factor out. Okay, so that's something to be aware of. Take a negative factor out if we have that, or sorry, if there's a negative in sorry, if there's a negative in the bottom right, we're going to take like I said before, if we have a top or left hand side, we're going to take a negative out. We got to make sure that this works. So we're going to look at the first one there, 6e squared and -3e. And I'm going to be able to take a 3e out of that one. And if I look on the bottom, I'm going to be able to take a 4 out of there. Now, going upwards, we can kind of balance with the factors we've taken out. With the next ones there, 6e squared and 8e, we can take a 2e out. Now, when we take a 3e out of 6e squared, a 2e is remainder. Okay, so we can think of that as being the remainder or what we can take out. And in the right-hand side there, because we have a -3e, we're going to be taking a -1 out of both of them, and that's going to make this work. Now that we have this as our answer there, or as our values, we can then use the left side and the top as the two binomial factors. So we're going to have 3e plus 4 and 2e minus 1 as our two factors. Now, again, this should work for everything as long as we set up our cross right and then work on our grid properly. We can always double check by multiplying our two binomials back together. Hope this has helped you out, given you another idea. Thank you so much for watching, and have a wonderful rest of the day.